Give me back my hook.
Give me back. Let me see. Let me see. Let me smack your lips. She told me that, like, Creeksquad, just like these people, I love these people. They're like my brothers and sisters, and I've never had a family. And man, that should move you guys. This woman who has been abandoned her whole life calls Creeksquad her family. Bro, it's like a family reunion every time, Creeksquad. It is, bro. I mean, it is. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your show on and get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. It's a cool place. And they say it gets colder. You're bundled up now, wait till you get older. But the media men like to differ, judging by the hole in the satellite picture. The ice we say is getting pretty thin. The water's getting warm, so you might as well swim. The world's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I like it, I'll never get bored. Woo! It's a hot one back down here in Tennessee, man. In Cincinnati, it wasn't too bad. Had to put my hair up because I'm burning up. Good day, Creeksquad and non-Creeksquad, fellers and fillettes, boys, Creek Holler Boys and Creek Holler Girls, and anybody else in between. Good afternoon. Alright, so check this out. I'm going to tell you, man, about the Cincinnati trip. Went up to the Upchurch show in Cincinnati. Dude, it was killer, bro. You already know it was killer. I didn't want to go at first, man, because I was just tired. I was just worn out, you know, and I just wanted to spend some time with my woman. But I'm not going to be able to go to that many more shows. So, you know, boom. I grabbed this show. I went with Dale from Father Son Reacts. And big shout out to Dale. I love Dale, bro. That's my road dog right there. And I love Nate too. So I went with them from Father Son Reacts. Went with Dale. Me and Dale went up there and man, we made our way up there and we met up with Buckeye, you know. What a buck.
Just chilling, brother. With my buddies. A bunch of creekers.
Chilling with the squad. Who is that?
S'more in it.
Who is that?
Who is that? Troy S'more boy.
Making some s'mores. I got another frog.
That's a big one. Well, not too big, but not bad.
Good now.
Ready? We got Freddy.
We'll put him back in the water.
Freddy the bullfrog. Do they? Oh, look at those little butt cheeks. They do it.
Those little butt cheeks. Let me see. Let me see. Let me smack your lips.
Give me back my hook.
Give me back my hook.
That's a real hook.
Yeah. He's snapping.
Damn it, damn it.
And I was just wore out from the work week. But whenever I got up there, bro, it was like family again, dude. It was like a big family reunion, man. It was like Nashville. There were so many people there. And I want to tell you guys a really, really crazy story, a really good story. Like, this is what Creeksquad is all about. And, bro, here's the thing. Creeksquad, you know, that's Ryan Upchurch's thing, obviously. But I feel like, especially somebody with a channel with subscribers, and I've met him before, I feel like we have a standard to uphold, right? And so there was, I met these two women this weekend, and dude, I'll tell you guys the whole story. Just stay tuned for the whole story. Let me get through this. Let me get through this recap. There's a lot that happened this weekend. You guys are going to want to hear this story. You know, there's so many people in Creeksquad, you know what I'm saying, that are different, and they don't believe the same thing, and they have problems. And it's one big dysfunctional family, right? So, you know, some people are going to butt heads, and some people are going to be upset with somebody, and they're not going to agree about politics, or they're not going to agree about religion or whatever. But, dude, when I tell you guys this story, Creeksquad as a whole, even the people that are like, hey, I don't really like them, I don't consider them Creeksquad, guys, let me just tell you, I'm going to tell you this story, and it's going to make you proud to be, you know, part of this dysfunctional family. This lady I met, I'm not going to name her name, but this lady I met, she told me a story, and dude, it got me, bro. It got me emotionally, and it made me proud to be a Ryan Upchurch fan and part of, I guess you would call it, Creeksquad. Hollerboys, Hollergirls, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, this woman was talking about how big of a role that Upchurch's music and hanging out with all of us and being able to come to the shows and be around a community of people. She was talking about how important that was in her life. And I'll tell you the story. It's crazier than you think, so stay tuned. But first I'm going to go through the weekend, man. Me and Dale rode up, and we hung out with Buckeye, and, you know, this is what Hollerboys and Hollergirls do. Buckeye had one of his friends come out so me and Dale could stay the night at the campgrounds, and we didn't have to pay. Bro, I'm going to turn this fan on because it's hot. I got to turn this fan on. Whew. Alright. Hope that doesn't affect the sound. Anyway, so me and Dale got to stay in a camper with this dude. And I'm not going to say his name. He's a real nice guy, man. And, bro, he had food. He smoked sausages. He smoked ribs. And we all just hung out and fished. I haven't fished in a long time. I haven't had time. But, dude, I had a blast just fishing. I almost caught me a big old bass, bro. I had one on the line and it just slipped off. So we went up, we hung out with Buckeye. Buckeye had his friend come out with his camper, and me and Dale got to hang out and sleep in the camper and everything. We could have got a hotel, but we just wanted to kick it at the campgrounds, you know. So first of all, man, hospitality is out the roof. Shout out to Buckeye. I love you, bro. I don't care what anybody says. I love you, Dale. I don't care what anybody says. Troy Troy got a Airbnb, and he had a couple of ladies staying with him that they had met, that we had met in Nashville. I didn't get to meet them in Nashville. I showed up after the fact, but they met them in Nashville. And I'm about to tell you a story about this lady, what she told me. But before that, got to hang out with Mike. Shout out 12 Point. Dude's hilarious, bro. It wouldn't surprise me if y'all don't see him on tour with Shane Gillis soon. And I want to say, bro, Troy and Mike, and of course we missed Ords and Cardiac, but Troy and Mike. Oh yeah, Chad from Two Mother Truckers. I got to hang out with him. I love Chad, dude. Great guy, big old dude. Looks like he rides a Harley, and he would kill somebody, but he's a good dude, man. Got to hang out with him and see his wife. Really good people, man. It was just a huge community. Got to hang out with Kentucky Hollerboy. I'm going to shout him out on here. Name is Dylan. He came up to me in the crowd, bro, and he was like, yo, he's like, dude, I love your channel, man. And he's like, I'm so glad I got to meet you. And he's like, dude, you know, I relate to you and a lot of stuff you talk about your faith and this and that. And dude, I mean, that means the world to me because I love all the music. I love all this stuff. But if we're not trying to help each other out and talk about our faith and talk about all the stuff we go through this life together, then, you know, we're not doing, well, I mean, I guess we're not really, we're scratching the surface and we're not getting deep and we're not helping each other out emotionally and stuff like that. So being there for each other or through, you know, addiction problems or whatever it is, or, you know, somebody lost their mom or their dad, somebody never knew their mom or their dad. So if we're just talking about music here, then, you know, it's great, but it's just music. And that's why I think that Creeksquad, Hollerboys, and Church's music, especially Church's music, is very deep. And dude, it's created this awesome community of people that I had such a good weekend. I'm so glad I went. I was thinking about bailing, but I'm so glad I went. Yeah, so got to meet him, and I got to meet, dude, I'm sorry, I can't remember all the names. I got to meet a bunch of people. Power Stroke, Mr. and Miss Power Stroke. I'll put all their pictures on here. I got to meet Rusty Truck. I got to meet, what's her name? Miss Vicky. I got to meet, bro, there's so many people. I can't remember everybody. There's so many people, bro. So it was just awesome to get to see and meet people I've never met before and just chop it up with them and hang out and have a good time, man. Got to see Broadnecks again. I got to meet Lock Wolf, LOC Wolf, or dude, I can never remember. This dude was awesome though. He came up and he like grabbed me by the shoulder. He turned me around, looked at my face. He goes, you're Southwind. And so I got to meet this guy. I've seen this guy in the chats and stuff and on YouTube, man. Great guy. Bro, it's like a family reunion every time, Creeksquad. It is, bro. I mean, it is. So, man, it's incredible. Shout out to Mike. Big shout out to 12 Point. And shout out to everybody, but big shout out to 12 Point. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. But big shout out to 12 Point. And big shout out to Troy Hill. 12 Point got some shirts that Upchurch gave out that he doesn't wear anymore. And so Troy gave me this shirt. Troy and Mike gave me this shirt. This used to be Upchurch's shirt. This Wayland shirt, bro. Dog, this Wayland shirt. I know I've seen pictures with him with this shirt on, bro. This Wayland shirt was Church's old shirt. Bro, this right here is awesome. This is one of Church's old shirts, and thank you, shout out again, 12 Point and Troy. I got to get this shirt from them. They gave me this shirt, man. That's cool. They could have kept it for themselves. Freaking awesome, man. I was supposed to go over to Church's house soon, so if I get to go over to his house, I'm going to have him sign this shirt, man, and I'm just going to put it up. I'm going to put it up and, who knows? Do whatever with it. Pass it down. Keep it in my studio here. Hang it on the wall. Who knows? Like I said, dude, it was great. There were so many people there, man. We didn't get to go backstage this time. Obviously, you can't just go backstage every time. But there was a lot of family there and stuff. So we all just kicked it, and it was great, dude. It was just great just to be around just the Creeksquad people, man. It was, a lot of times you're like, man, I don't feel like going, I'm tired or whatever. But then when you go, you're like, bro, I couldn't imagine not doing this weekend. And that's the way it turned out for me, dude. It was awesome. So let me tell you guys a story real quick. All right. So, show was awesome. Everything was awesome. Got to hang out with everybody and eat. And, a few people had some beers. And we had a good time, man. Me and Dale had a great time. We hung out with Buckeye. We had a good time. Smoked a couple cigars by the lake. Dude, it was great. Went fishing. I ain't been fishing in years. So, we went back after the show. We went back to the Airbnb to Troy's Airbnb again. Shout out Troy, thank you, bro. Saved us a little hotel money, me and Dale. So we went back to the Airbnb, and I'm not going to say their names because I don't want them to be embarrassed. But I asked her if I could tell her story. And I told her what we do on Sundays on this channel, and thank you for sharing it with me. That's what I told her. She was probably about 60 years old, I believe. Awesome lady. Just great, just very welcoming, sweet person. Her and her daughter, we all went back to the Airbnb. And we were hanging out, and we ordered some pizza, and we were just chilling and eating. And, Mike and Troy were doing their thing. They were just chilling, and Dale was outside smoking and stuff. And so this lady got to talking to me, and we just started talking, and, it was light conversation, just how much fun we had and stuff. And then she started telling me kind of her story. And she was telling me that she was adopted as a child, and she told me that her adoptive parents were very abusive, and that's very sad. She said she was on the streets at like 12 years old, on the streets, and trying to find people to take her in and stuff like that. And she said that she never knew who her mother or father was until she was 59 years old, I believe. So if you've had your parents in your life, your whole life, like I have, imagine not knowing. Can't find my lighter. What do I do with my lighter? Imagine not knowing your parents your whole life. This lady had not known her parents her whole life. She had never even seen a picture of her biological dad or her biological mom, as far as I know. So, and like she just started talking about, we just started talking. We got into some deep conversation. The weekend was fun and everything was great, but we got into some deep conversation. So, while we were talking, keep in mind her daughter's about 33, 32, 33, something like that. So we were talking, and her daughter said, I've never seen her this happy. And so I was like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah. She said that she had a really rough life, man, a really rough childhood, and her adoptive parents abused her. She didn't know her mom and dad, and she finally found, through 23andMe, I guess, she finally found her dad, who he was. And so he's 82 years old. She reached out to him, and he talked to her for just a short time, and then he kind of dismissed her. And he told her that, at 82 years old, that it's probably best that her brothers and sisters don't know about her. And he didn't really want to tell her anything else. He told her the name of her mother when he was in his 20s, long time ago. And what happened between them and stuff. And but he basically told her he couldn't talk to her anymore, and he didn't want her half brothers and sisters to know who she was. So, and he rejected her, and he kind of acted like she was asking for something or whatever, like she would have been a nuisance to him. And she just wanted to know who he was, and she just wanted to meet him one time, and she's always craved a family. She was telling me, she's like, I've always craved, she said, I've never been around anybody who's even looked like me to even know where I came from, and that I came from that person, and that they love me because I'm theirs. And that struck me real deep, man, because I've always been really close with my family. And I just, for a second, I wasn't ever good at this. I wasn't ever good at empathy. But for a second, I imagined not knowing my mother and my father, and the huge hole that would leave, and then finding my father, and then him denying wanting to get to know me or ever wanting to meet me or ever speak to me again, even after I found him after 50 something years. I just can't fathom that. That's incredible to me. In a terrible way. Incredibly terrible. Just couldn't imagine it. So, she said that whenever Upchurch was going through some stuff with his family, she kind of started relating to him a lot. And in a different way, of course, but relating to him because he had some issues, family issues. And then she said she got into his music. And she said that her daughter was telling me how awesome of a person she was, how great of a woman she was. This woman had every right in the world to be bitter. This woman had every right in the world to be upset because of her childhood, and she didn't know her parents. And now that she found them, even in their 80s, are treating her like crap, or at least her father. She had every right to be upset, and be a bitter person and wear it on her sleeve and be upset, angry and mad and frustrated, angry at God. But she told me, she's like, I've always believed in God. I've always, I haven't done everything right, but I've always believed in God. And I told her, I said, well, first of all, none of us have done everything right. But I grabbed her hand and I said, you have a heavenly Father that loves you. And I know it's not easy for him just to be right beside you all the time and for you to feel that presence. But I told her, I said, he's there, and you have a heavenly Father that loves you more than you could ever imagine. And she said, I think she said it in a roundabout way, I've always felt that. So, this is where Creeksquad should be proud, guys. We should be proud, not just us or me or whatever, because I just met this woman, but the guys who met her in Nashville, they welcomed them in, and they just, obviously Troy, they came and they stayed in the Airbnb, and Troy got one together with them, and like, just taking them in as family. Troy's a great dude, man, and he literally just welcomed these people in, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, hey, Creeksquad is a community, and I said, we love our people, you know what I'm saying? If you appreciate Upchurch and his morals and values, bro, that's what it's all about. And we want to be there for each other. It's a community, it's a family, and sometimes we mess up, right? Sometimes we say things or do things or we upset somebody, but as long as we're always able to say, hey, my bad, let's bury this hatchet or whatever, I think we, can move on like a real family does. But anyway, so she told me, she said, I've never had a real family. She said, I've raised a family, my husband and my daughters and my son and everything. And she said, I've raised a family. She said, but before my family, she said, I've never had my own family to where I was the one who was, raised, and I had that comfort, and I had my mother and my father. She said, I've never had that. And she said, the closest thing I can say to that was whenever I came down to Nashville, and they ran into Ord's, Cardiac, Buckeye, Mike, and they ran into a bunch of people at Jaybirds. So the song Pond Creek Road, Jaybirds looks like something out from a movie scene. So Jaybirds, what church was singing about in Pond Creek Road, everybody was there hanging out, and they drove by her and her daughter, and they stopped and they got out, and they didn't know these people, but they were like, hey, this is awesome. Here's some Upchurch fans at Jaybirds from Pond Creek Road. And so, man, they instantly buddied up with them, and that's my boys. I didn't get to meet up till later at the barbecue pit, but they buddied up with these two women, and she said immediately she just felt accepted. She felt like this is a place she should be. These are the kind of people she's always been looking for. And she said, I love it. She said, if I could make every show, I would. She's like, I just feel like I feel loved. I feel loved, and I feel like this is a family. Like, this is like something I've never had. Creeksquad, even if you hate me, even if you're upset with me, even if I'm upset with you, even if I don't like you, even if you don't like me, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself. This is the kind of things, this is what it's all about. This woman has never had a real family. She's always had a huge hole in her heart and her soul, and she unloaded on me, man. And she needed it. And her daughter looked at me, she's like, thank you for listening. She doesn't ever do that to anybody. And I said, dude, I'm good. That's what I do for a living. I'm a caregiver for mental health facility. And also, I help my dad out logging a little bit, but also I go to men's groups, and it has helped make me be a better listener whenever I used to just be me, talk, blah, blah, blah. And so, dude, I was so grateful that I could help, or just be an ear to listen to somebody who's going through something. And, dude, it just warmed my heart, man. She told me that, like, Creeksquad, just like these people, I love these people. They're like my brothers and sisters, and I've never had a family. And, man, that should move you guys. This woman who has been abandoned her whole life calls Creeksquad her family. That should move you guys. And her daughter said, I haven't seen her smile like this in 30 years. And it was just great, dude. It was just heartwarming. And with a lot of stuff going on right now, just all this stuff going on with the back and forth stuff with this channel or this channel or this channel or whatever, right? It's just very heartwarming, and it's very refreshing to see somebody say something like that. And then it just like rejuvenates your love for people in the community and what this whole thing was about anyway. What Upchurch started and what it was about. It just totally refreshes, and it totally rejuvenates this whole movement. Something he created for the people, not just for record labels, not for somebody to make money off of. It's something more, it's something special, and it just totally reminded me of everything, especially with this channel that we're trying to do. We're trying to reach people for God, and a lot of us are Creekers, Creeksquad, and some people, man, they're going through stuff you could never imagine. And so it's just great to be able to meet them and talk to them and just, help them out any way we can. Lead them to God. Or be a listening ear. That's what this whole thing, to me, is the bigger picture, And obviously the show was great. The show was amazing. And, it was just a weekend. Another one for the books, bro. Wish I could do it every weekend. Me and Dale left. We finally got back to Tennessee, bro, and I dropped him off. And yesterday I just crashed. Last night when I got home, I just crashed, bro. But it was a lot of fun, dude. It was an eye-opening trip. It totally re-sparked some awesome feelings for me, man, and some awesome community. I got to know Mike 12 Point a little better, and Troy, and all the guys a little better, man. You know, so yeah, that's how Cincinnati went. And if I forgot to mention you, bro, I'm just gonna put pictures on here because there's a lot of people I met and I didn't remember their names, and they said they watched the channel, or they love what I do, or they love Upchurch stuff and they like the interview or whatever it was. And there's just tons of people that I met that I didn't get to. I can't remember their names, but dude, just phenomenal weekend, bro. Phenomenal. Guys, take care and smile. Because, man, when you start doing stuff for other people, it just changes everything. It just makes you realize that you have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? You have a purpose. We're all here for each other. We have a purpose. Alright. Love you guys. Sorry about this Sunday. I was driving back. No way to go live. I'm going to do some more lives coming up, though, soon. Update, Ileana, the baby, who had open heart surgery. She's been doing wonderful. She's been reaching milestones. She's going to be able to come home soon, apparently. She's trucking along, man. She's a warrior. So I'm going to give you guys some more updates about the little baby. So stay tuned. Love you guys.